my name's Lenny. I'm a third year science student at the ANU, and I'm also a resident at Burgmann College. Burgmann is a self-catered postgraduate and catered undergraduate living college on campus. It's really close to Canberra Lake, which is a really nice place to kind of get a break from uni, and it's within 5-minute walk from pretty much my bed to class, so that's really handy. Yeah, but come on in, I'll give you a tour and show you a bit about why Burgmann is so special. So this is one of our prototype rooms. So they're reserved for members of leadership, and there's heaps of opportunities at Burg in all year levels to become leadership, so keep your eye out for those. But I don't know, it's fairly roomy. There's a lot of opportunity to make it your own. I kind of find that the nicer my room is, the more able I am to, keep up with study and that kind of thing. So it's just nice to like bring things from home, which is what I've done. So every room comes with a bed, a sink, which is here, and a window. So while the rooms might look quite different throughout the college, you are always going to get those pretty stock standard items. Yeah, I mean, you can bring fridges, and I bring a toaster because I love my Abo and toast every day. I've got a kettle in here as well. And yeah, it's kind of a way for you to just have a space where if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with, the people at college, it's, there's always somewhere that you can go. Yeah, so I've got this little area as well. And I use that for meetings or just hanging out, playing cards with friends. Yeah, and I think a lot of people use their rooms as a way to like express themselves and feel a bit more at home. So that's, yeah, this is one of the prototype rooms. So this is one of our convo areas, and they're in the middle of each floor. Every floor has a theme. So as you can see, the theme here is Toy Story. And every resident on this floor gets a character, and that's shown as a sign on their door. And your floor is kind of like your family at Burgmann, so it's like just a little smaller community within, all of the students. And you have a lot of social events with your floor, and yeah. So this is where we have our weekly meetings. They're called Tim Tams. And we have a bit of a snack on a Wednesday, have a chat. If there's anything that the RAs need to bring up, they'll do that there. And most of the time it just turns into just a bit of a catch up, a bit of a chat. There are bathrooms on every floor. And there's also a laundry so that you can kind of stay here if that's what you want to do. And it's good. When you're in first year, you kind of stick to your floor a little bit, and then as you kind of progress through the year, you kind of meet other people and kind of start to hang out in other areas. This is one of our newly designed spaces. This is a back though. It's got lots of, as you can see, really nice natural light. And yeah, it's just designed as another space where you can just have a sit. You can study out here if you want. You can play some music or something like that. Yeah, so these are the way the floors work here at Burgmann. So this is our common room where we have our TV and our kind of lounges set up. So quite often we'll have events like viewings of MasterChef final, or Bachelor in Paradise is another one. The footy is pretty big, both AFL and NRL, and the rugby, so can get pretty loud, pretty heated when there's a big group down here, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so when we have bigger events in like the winter months, they're generally held in here because it's quite warm and really just like comfy. We've also got like pool tables and ping pong tables, and there's a really good area for lectures. So when we get guest speakers in to the college, we pop them in here, and yeah, it's a really good opportunity to gain access to the wider ANU community. So that's generally where we have those events. Yeah, so I mean, it's a really pretty area. Like you get a really nice view of the grounds and the buildings as well. And it's just a good place to come and hang out and sit on a couch and feel like you're at home instead of, watching Netflix on your computer in bed alone, which is my go-to. Yeah, so this is the common room. So this is our residence kitchen, and it's available for people to book out if they want to have a bake or a bit of a cook, or they just feel like having a bit of a break from Burg food. They can come in here, and there's like ovens and fridges and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people like to use this space if a friend's having a birthday, they like to make a cake or something like that. Yeah, it's just a really good space to like have all the options available to you. So I feel like Burgmann's really good at giving you as many options as you can have in a catered living environment to do your own thing. So yeah, I mean, I for one take up this advantage quite a lot. So this is the GP room, and it's where the college will quite often have more formal events. So they invite esteemed guests from the ANU and Canberra surrounds, and some residents get the opportunity to attend these events. There's canapes, it's usually pretty fancy. It's also a really good study space if you feel like studying, not in your room or on campus. Yeah, I mean, the last event that we had here was the launch of the Reconciliation Action Plan, which I attended that event, and it was just really nice that the college is working really hard on committing itself towards bettering reconciliation in Australia, and that event was really quite spectacular to be a part of, and it made me quite proud to be a member of a college that is so open and actively trying to improve on things like that. We also have the Doomadgee Burgmann Community Partnership, and that involves students travelling to a remote Indigenous community in far north Queensland, and we stay with the same family that we've stayed with for 15 years, and it's really quite an eye-opening, incredible experience. So yeah, I definitely say the college is quite committed to reconciliation in Australia, and are taking quite active steps towards improving that. Yeah, so that's the GP room. Quite often you'll get a fair amount of people studying in here or just hanging out. Like, I've seen people fall asleep on these lounges before, so it's kind of a bit of a hybrid area. Yeah. So this is our BRA board. BRA stands for the Burgmann Residents Association, and I think that's something that's quite unique about Burgmann, is that we do have a completely student-run, student-elected representative body. I'm one of the vice presidents, and we are in charge of running events, initiatives throughout the college, things like that. And there's lots of opportunities for people to be involved in BRA. There's first, second and third year spots and positions, so I think it's a pretty big part of what makes Burgmann so special. It's a really inclusive space, and yeah, a really important part of what makes us who we are. So moving on, this is the dining hall. So this is where we eat and also study. And also, if there's bigger events, like quite large events, obviously, because it's a large room, they're in here as well. So yeah, that's the dining hall. And once again, you get quite a nice view of outside and what's happening. Yeah, it's just a really good chill out space, and it's quite new as well. So this is where we get served. Every resident is provided with 3 meals a day, and Burgmann's really good with catering to dietary requirements. Like, I'm a gluten-free vegetarian, so I'm that guy, unfortunately. But Burgmann, they're really supportive about it, and the chefs will come out and have a chat to you about your needs and what you need. Yeah, and the college also provides, we've got a really good coffee machine, which I'm just coming up on now, which is really good when it's 8 o'clock at night and you're in a mid-study session. You can just come over to the coffee machine. That's really good. Microwave, there's a fridge. They have a takeaway meal service, so if you miss a class or whatever reason, you can easily just grab a late meal. There's always fruit on offer as well. That's the coffee machine behind me. Yeah, I mean, the food, it's so good. Like, for what you're expecting when you are coming to a catered college, it goes above and beyond any sort of expectations in that way. And yeah, the kitchen staff are just really lovely and here to make your experience the best that it can be. So this is the AR main room. It's most frequently used as a study space. It's really nice. It gets a lot of sun in the afternoons. It's got lots of windows. It's really pretty. And occasionally the college will have art shows, so quite often we'll have events in here to showcase some really beautiful art from the area. And at the moment we have some really nice Indigenous artworks up on the wall, so they're quite a nice backdrop to your philosophy tutes. So this is our cafe, and that stands for Chapel Cafe, so it's kind of a multi-purpose space. See, at the moment we've got like a whiteboard and like a study table, but then also some drums. So I mean, the space is what you make of it. Lots of people use it for music rehearsal. even though we do have a music room as well with some instruments. Yeah, there's also like some more formaler events held in here. It's kind of a mid-size, so it's just another one of the spaces that you can come to choose to study or hang out or anything like that. Burgmann's really good because it has a lot of spaces like that. Like, you're kind of spoiled for choice in terms of where you go and where you want to hang out. Like, we have another coffee machine. This is I guess the cafe side of the cafe, and that's another TV. So common occurrence is there's AFL playing in the common room, so we put the rugby on up here to avoid conflicts. But yeah, I mean, there's a little library, and again, it's you get a really like nice view of the grounds and lots of light. So it's just another space where you can choose to make of it, what you want. But generally, it's like hanging out until exam period, and then it just becomes, somewhere else that you can go that's a bit quiet and a bit removed from the rest of the college. So this is our postgraduate village. We have 70 postgrads living on campus, and it's a really good opportunity to meet people that you wouldn't meet in a traditional undergrad environment. There's 5-share apartments, so that's roughly 5 people sharing just like a standard apartment with a shared living space, kitchen, that kind of thing, and then kind of working your way down to studios, which is just a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. Yeah, it's really good. We try really hard at the college to get everybody interacting with each other, and it's a really just such a good opportunity to like network and meet friends that maybe are a little bit older or from a different background from you. Yeah, so I'll show you one of the studio apartments, but this is the Postgrad Village, and we just call it the Village. So this is one of our studio apartments in the Postgrad Village. All of the studios, or all of the postgrad apartments are completely self-catered. So they all come with a fridge, an oven, like a stove top. Is that what they called? It's a stove top with the pan. Moving on. Yeah, and they all come with like an inbuilt desk, bit of an ensuite. Hello. Yeah, and again, like it's another opportunity to just like make your space your own. And Burgmann, they're pretty chill with you bringing in stuff that will make your experience better. So like, Charlie has a coffee machine, things like that, like a nice rug, adds a nice element to it. Yeah, and these are kind of like pretty good self-sustained rooms. Yeah, so that's just one example of the postgrad accommodation available, but this is a studio apartment. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining us for a tour of Burgmann. We hope to see you at the ANU really soon. Bye.